Check this out. One-click light mode. One-click dark mode. That is what we are building today. Every developer gets asked the same question at some point. Can you add a dark mode? And if you don't know how to do it properly, not just slap a dark background on, it's easy to end up with a mess of duplicated styles, media queries everywhere, and a toggle that only half works. In this video, I'm going to show you the correct modern way to build dark mode for any website, using CSS custom properties and a data theme attribute system. This is the same architecture used in real production dashboards. We're going to cover what CSS variables actually are and why they make theming so clean, how to build a complete light and dark token system from scratch, and how to wire up a JavaScript toggle that switches the whole UI in one line. No frameworks, no libraries, just CSS and a tiny bit of JavaScript doing exactly what they were built for. The code is in the description if you want to follow along. If you want my free CSS cheat sheet, the one that breaks down Flexbox and Grid, just drop the word cheat sheet in the comments right now, and I'll send it straight to you. Let's build this. CSS variables and theming, light/dark mode. The root token system. Now before we move on, I want to make sure this actually lands, because this is the decision that makes or breaks a theming system. When most beginners add dark mode, they do something like this. They find every element that has a background color, copy the rule, wrap it in a media query or a dark class, and change the value. So now, every color in their project exists twice. And the moment a designer says change the brand blue, they have to change it in 20 places instead of one. What we are doing instead is the token system approach. Every color in this entire dashboard, backgrounds, text, borders, shadows, status colors, every single one lives in this root block as a named variable. The elements themselves never know what color they are. They only know which token to use. That is what CSS custom properties give you, and that is why this matters beyond just dark mode. This same system is how design tokens work in companies using Figma and design systems at scale. CSS custom properties, or variables, are the backbone of this project. Instead of hard-coding color values everywhere, we define them once in root and reference them with var throughout the style sheet. This makes the dark mode switch trivially easy. We just override the variables. cubic Bezier of 0.4, 0, 0.2, 1 is Material Design's standard easing, fast out, slow in, which feels professional and natural. Dark mode override with data theme. When JavaScript adds data theme equals dark to the HTML element, these rules fire and override the light mode token values. Every element in the page automatically updates because they all consume the variables with var. We only override the variables that change in dark mode. Everything else, brand colors, radii, shadows, inherits from root automatically. JavaScript, interactivity, dark mode toggle. Right now, our toggle works perfectly when a user clicks the button. But what about the user who already has their entire operating system set to dark mode? On a Mac, on Windows, on their phone, they have chosen dark everywhere. And the first time they land on our page, it shows them light mode. That's a bad experience. CSS has a media query for exactly this, prefers color scheme. And the clean move is to combine both approaches. This runs automatically, no JavaScript, no button click needed. The user lands on the page and it already matches their system preference. Then your JavaScript toggle sits on top of this as a manual override, so the user gets the right default automatically and the choice to change it if they want. That's the complete implementation. That's what you want in production. One last thing before we wrap this up, and this catches a lot of developers off guard. First, images. Photographs look fine in dark mode, but UI illustrations, logos, and icon assets that were designed for light backgrounds can look harsh or invisible. The fix is filter brightness minus 0.8 on images inside dark mode. Second, shadows. In light mode, shadows work because dark on light reads naturally. In dark mode, a dark shadow on a dark background is invisible. So we actually increased the opacity on our shadow variables in the dark theme. Third, scroll bars. Custom scroll bars we styled using WebKit scroll bar look fine in dark mode because we used var_border color, which already updates with the theme. But if you hard-coded a color there, it would break. Always use variables for anything that should respond to theme changes. No exceptions. And that is dark mode done right. Notice what we didn't have to do. We didn't write every color twice, we didn't use a dozen media queries, and we didn't touch a single component individually. We changed 2 variable values and the entire UI responded. That is the power of building with a token system from the start. This approach scales. Whether your project has 10 elements or 1,000, the toggle stays exactly the same. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more clean web development tutorials, and drop your questions in the comment section below. If you want the full build, Watch this video now for the full complete project build. And the source code for everything we built today is linked in the description. And don't forget, if you want the free CSS cheat sheet, comment cheat sheet below. It is completely free. I'll see you in the next one.